A big concern, tornado activity. We have a warning right now.
Yeah, we have that tornado warning. This is just to our north up in the Pasco County. Look at this view here. I mean, the rain is coming down. It is torrential rain, and this is why it's so important. We talk about not trying to get the video, not putting yourself in danger, because if there was a tornado passing in front of that view, you could tell with that amount of rain, it is what we call rain wrapped. You are not going to see that tornado. You're not going to get that great video of it. So stay away from the doors, stay away from the windows, stay in that interior location. Just a quick reminder, we have that tornado watch from Pinellas, Hillsborough, Polk on to the north. That goes until 3 o'clock this afternoon. But right now, the biggest concern, it's the tornado warning. And this is the one up in the Pasco County. This goes until 12:30. And you see, when you look at the radar and you see these individual cells, and I'll circle what I'm talking about with this. We're looking at, we basically have this cell here. We have a cell up here. We have a cell down here. That's what we start to refer to as discrete cells. And that's really a setup of a very strong system, and it's kind of more of a threat when you see these individual cells as opposed to a line. You're seeing the signs that we're seeing more rotation in the atmosphere. So this is where we have the warning right now. This is until 12:30 up into Pasco County. We're going to look at the winds in this, and this looks like it is just now coming on shore. So if you're up into coastal Pasco County from say 19, Port Richey, Jasmine Estates, up towards Bayonet Point, this is the area that we're talking about. You want to move to that safe location away from any doors or windows in your house. You want to move towards that center location because we are seeing a radar indicated. This is important to know. At this point, we are still talking about a radar indicated tornado. No confirmation at this point. It does look like we've got some new warnings that are coming in here, or maybe an update. We'll be looking at that in a second here. But this is the area as it's working its way right now to the northeast at about 40 miles an hour. And we continue to see here. Let's go ahead and look. We're now looking at a tornado warning, which has now been issued for Pinellas County. So as I was showing you those various cells, we're again now seeing another one, and this is the area basically right along the coastline of Indian Rocks. So this is in Pinellas County. This goes until 12:45 for this tornado warning. Again, this is a radar indicated tornado. This is what we refer to as a water spout because we're over water at this point, but it is right along the coastline. So we could once again have a water spout that is now working its way on shore up into Pinellas County. So Indian Rocks over towards Largo, Bel Air, up and towards Clearwater. This is what is working its way in your direction as well. And we are going to continue to watch this area moving to the northeast at 35 miles an hour. That is what this cell is now currently doing. And this is working its way up in these areas, Indian Rocks, Largo, Bel Air. And here's the area. You can see very intense cell. Some of the roads in this area over towards Largo, Almerton, and then say Seminole Boulevard as it works its way up towards East Bay Drive. These are all the areas, even as you work your way over towards Gulf to Bay. Coachman, if it holds together, it is pushing over in the general direction, over towards Safety Harbor and Dunedin. But the biggest concern right now would be right along the coastline. We're going to look at the velocities, or we're looking at that rotation of this cell once again. And we'll circle the area that we're looking at. And it's right here, right along the coastline. So if you're right along the coastline into Pinellas County, these are the areas. This warning goes until 12:45, tornado warning in this area. We also have the other warning, which is up into Pasco County. That goes until 12:30. As well. So we'll go back up into this direction and look at where we're at with this. And this now looks like it's working its way right over 19. So up towards Roosevelt Drive, Bayonet Point. That's where we're seeing the rotation with this as well. And this is what we call the rotation detector. And we're seeing a pretty good rotation right in this area, all stretching down towards Jasmine Estates. So if you are up in this area, and I'm going to kind of draw a line around this area. If you find yourself inside this box right now you want to take cover. You want to move to that safe location in your house because we do have a radar-indicated tornado that is working its way in your direction. So Hudson Avenue, Robin Hood Road, Canton Avenue, and now we're talking basically to the east of 19 in Pasco County. This warning goes until 12:30, so we have another 11 minutes on this warning up into Pasco County. In addition to the warning that we have in Pasco County, we're also watching the rotation, which is a waterspout potentially working its way onshore into Pinellas County. So we've got two different tornado warnings currently in effect. There you see the radar just updating once again. And we're still seeing that rotation, maybe not as strong with this, but it now looks like it is right on the coastline. So Bel Air Bluffs, just to the south of Clearwater and Clearwater Beach, we have what could be a waterspout turning into a tornado working its way onshore. So if you are, say, from Gulf to Bay, anywhere along 19 and along the coastal areas from Bel Air to Bel Air Bluffs, Harbor Bluffs, Clearwater Beach, or to the south, you want to take cover in this area as well. This is where we have that tornado warning. This one goes until 12:45 in this area. I'm going to go ahead and kind of zoom out a bit wider on this so you can just kind of get your bearings to the areas that we are talking about. And we have several different areas working their way onshore with these discrete cells, and we're seeing more and more signs of rotation. So we have two of these cells that are now rotating. We also are going to watch this southern end of this that extends out into the Gulf of Mexico as some of this works its way onshore across southern Pinellas County, then down into Manatee and Sarasota later on. You are going to be watching this as well. It's quiet down in these areas right now, but we certainly have some very strong cells working their way onshore. So from Clearwater, stretching all the way over towards Oldsmar, up towards Citrus Park, you're seeing some very strong storms now working their way through. Quite a bit of lightning as well. We'll go ahead and flip on that lightning counter, and just in this view here, we're talking about 140 strokes of lightning. So some pretty strong storms working their way through. Lightning does not make this a severe storm. It is the winds, the strong winds with this, and then we also have the tornado warnings, which are now inside of this severe thunderstorm warning. Remember, we also have, in addition to that, we have the severe thunderstorm warning. Anywhere where you see that orange shaded box, that goes until 12:45. But the biggest concern at this point would be the tornado warning till 12:45 for Pinellas County, and then we also have the tornado warning for Pasco County. That goes until 12:30. Now, I'm going to go ahead and zoom into these areas so we can kind of get a bit of an update to where we're standing with some of these rotations with this. And here's the one up in the Pasco County. Continues to work its way more say to the east of 19. So the areas that we have most concern right now, we're going to say from Pinto Drive to Colony Road, Hudson Avenue, Canton Avenue, Little Road. This is up in the Pasco County. We'll go ahead and circle some of these. Little Road, you are basically right underneath this, up towards Canton Avenue. This is the rotation right here, and it is working its way in this direction. So if you're up in this area, this is the area of immediate concern over the next couple of minutes. And then you see if this holds together, it will continue to work its way in a direction up towards Shady Hills, Little Ranch Road, and then eventually making its way over towards the Suncoast Parkway. But right now we're seeing still a sign of a rotation. You see how quickly, as the radar updates, how quickly this has gone ahead and jumped a little bit further onto the east and the northeast. So Hudson Avenue, Hayes Road, up towards Shady Hills Road, Little Ranch Road, up towards Shady Hills. These are all the areas that we're watching. Again, this is Pasco County, quickly jumping back down to the south so we can look into Pinellas County. This warning, again, goes till 12:30. We haven't seen any new updates on this warning here, but still we're seeing signs of rotation. I will say it looks like here over the past couple of minutes, this rotation becoming a bit more broad up towards Clearwater, Bel Air, in Bel Air Bluffs. This is where we're looking at most of that rotation with this in this direction. And again, that one is moving to the northeast at about 35 miles an hour. So still, we do have this warning. We're not seeing as strong of a rotation with this. I'll go ahead and look at some of the rotation with our rotation detector, and not seeing anything with this. And then we look at for some debris. We would, now that it's worked its way onshore, if we're seeing any debris in this area, what we would look for is really just more of a change in the colors. And we're not seeing any signs at this point across Pinellas County. We'll quickly jump back to the north. We're going to kind of bounce back and forth between these two areas just simply because we've got two areas that we're watching very closely with this. And when we look at the area of rotation with this, up into central Pasco County, or still it's in western Pasco County, not seeing any definite signs of any debris with this. But I'm going to go ahead and zoom into this area, and some of the most intense parts of this are now working their way. It looks like up towards Hudson Avenue. If you're in this area, Hudson Avenue over towards Oakwood Drive, this is all still to the west of the Suncoast Parkway, but this cell is moving to the northeast at 40 miles an hour. Again, this warning goes for another 5 minutes, this tornado warning up into Pasco County till 12:30. And when you look at the rotation with this, just a couple of minutes ago, if I back up the radar and we look at how this has progressed, you're seeing what we call more of a tight coupling with this rotation, and as it continues to work its way onto the northeast, still seeing signs of a rotating cell, but we're not seeing this as tightly coupled together. So giving us an indication if we do have a tornado, it may be weakening at this point. But again, we still have this warning for another 4 minutes up into Pasco County. So if you are, say, from the Suncoast Parkway to the west, up into Pasco County, from Shady Hills to the west of 5A Junction, it does look like you're still under this warning for just a few more minutes. Just an update on the warning in Pinellas County. They still have that warning going until 12:45. Still a radar indicated tornado in this area. It looks like right near the Palm Harbor area. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back down into this area. And again, what I'm seeing with this, again, does look like maybe we are looking at a still a rotating cell with this, but it does look like it continues to weaken. If I back up on the radar, and I'll circle the area for you to watch. And this is the area that we're watching. And notice as that works its way to the north and east, you're not seeing it staying together quite as much. So right now, it looks like it's moving up towards Clearwater. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little closer here, up towards Clearwater. We'll circle the area that we're looking at. So if you're to the north and east of this area, inside of that box, those are the areas that you want to go ahead and get into that safe location. So that includes Dunedin, in the Coachman area, maybe just to the north of that, from McMullen Booth on to the west. So if you're over towards Oldsmar, you want to pay attention very closely to this. You are actually in the tornado warning at this point, but it is still to your south and west at this point, and this warning goes until 12:30. I'll go ahead and go out wide so we can see these areas once again, what's going on across the entire viewing area. We continue to watch this band coming through. Now, it's important to note, after this moves through, the threat goes away because this is a fairly narrow band of some very intense storms. And you notice there's not much, if anything, behind this. So it is all clear. Not that the skies clear out, but the threat clears out, the rain clears out, and then you're back to just some pretty windy weather. And there's still going to continue to be that issue as far as strong winds causing the possibility of some of that coastal flooding. We're still seeing some of these waves and some of the inundation from those strong west and southwesterly winds, which are gusting 40 to 50 miles an hour along the coastline. So there's still a possibility we could see some coastal flooding over the next several hours into this evening. Once this front pushes through, the winds will start to die down later on this evening, and that threat will die down for everyone. But But at the moment, our biggest threat is these tornado warnings in these two areas. We have just less than a minute to our north on this warning up into Pasco County. Does look like the threat in this area has diminished quite a bit, especially when you see that kind of a view there. I would say at this point, it looks like this warning will go ahead and expire. They'll continue to watch this area very closely, but I'm not seeing any signs that we have a tornado on the ground. This looks like more of a rotating cell, which still in the future could produce additional tornado warnings, but the threat is certainly diminishing up into Pasco County. We'll look down into Pinellas County, and it does look like this one is also weakening quite a bit as well. So I'm going to continue to watch both of these areas, but I want to go ahead and tell you about some of the other issues that we have going on. We have the water levels, that wind. I was just mentioning the winds coming out of the west and the southwest, 40 to 50 miles an hour. So that is going to cause some of that coastal flooding. We do have a coastal flood warning. These winds in the entire area across really central Florida, we're looking at winds gusting to 50 miles an hour through this entire area. And already we're seeing these winds along the coastline gusting already up to over 40 miles an hour. We do have, just came out now, another severe thunderstorm warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. This goes until 1:15. Go ahead and quickly show you the area that we are talking about. We'll look back to the north. And once again, this active line coming through. Good news about this. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, obviously with still straight line winds of up to 60 miles an hour. We could be talking about additional threats of damage from the straight line winds. But this is a severe thunderstorm warning. This goes from Citrus County, Sumter, Pasco, Hernando, all the way down into Manatee and Hillsborough. So it is this entire box, which has basically just been shifted a little bit further on to the east. So now this is including more of eastern Hillsborough County and also central and eastern portions of Pasco County up into Hernando County. So that warning, which what we're talking about at this point, that is the orange box, that goes until 1:15. But as I was mentioning, the winds, we're seeing these winds south to southwest at over 40 miles an hour. We're going to see these gusts up to 50 miles an hour in some areas. We still have, anywhere you see this yellow shade, that risk of additional tornadoes as we go through the afternoon. That front, it will continue to work its way through. And then as the front pushes through, we're going to start to clear out the skies tonight, and a much better looking day for tomorrow. Now, we've got a lot of activity going on today, but once we get by this, everything will settle down. We'll have a beautiful looking day tomorrow. Into the weekend, we will continue to see very nice, quiet conditions with much lower humidity, but we just have to get this line to work its way through. As the line's working its way through, that's where we're going to see some of the strongest winds. But notice, even as that line pushes through along the coastline, you're still seeing these winds coming out of the west at 30 to 40 miles an hour, and that will continue to settle down as we head into tonight. So talking about the forecast for today, we're seeing those temperatures right around 80 degrees. The storms, well, we obviously know they are working their way through. We have that coastal flood warning, which will continue throughout the afternoon into this evening, clearing out 64 degrees for tonight. Then tomorrow, a much better looking day. Daytime high at 77 degrees. 7-day forecast. After we get by this, beautiful looking weather all the way into the weekend. Bob, I didn't quite hear where you wanted me to go with this, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to break. We'll keep you updated on